to this day, KH1 Riku's pants freak me out.
I saw another thing that said if you took off Sora's jacket, he's wearing a red onesie.
Yes, he is in KH1, yeah.
Yeah, he's just wearing a onesie.
They took Tarzan out of this game, too. Dude, Liam, after KH1, they were, like, not allowed to use Tarzan ever again.
Well, because its music wasn't, like... It's copywritten differently than Disney, because it's, like, actually Phil Collins and everything, isn't it?
Yeah,
like,
well, it's not just
actual...
the music, it's the entire thing. They never use Tarzan again in any game.
Like, Tarzan is, like, its own copyright, as opposed to, like, the rest of Disney. I don't know why, but I distinctly remember sort of, like, in the credits of Kingdom Hearts... I'm pretty sure in the credits of Kingdom Hearts, it's like copyright Disney, and then there's just another one that says copyright Tarzan. Like, it's its own thing.
Liam, look at the screen real quick. What do you think this is? Do you think this is, like, the final world, or do you think it's, like, an epilogue thing for, like, a secret episode? Because it's right next to Destiny Islands, but I can't go to it, and I've definitely done everything that's related to Destiny Islands already.
That kind of looks like...
I can't see what it's faded out.
It kind of looks like where you fight Lingering Will.
No, that's not the Keyblade Graveyard.
It kind of looks like it as like a darker version of it.
Maybe? I can't tell from that image.
That's the only thing I can think it would be. Someone said the Dark Realm. Maybe it is the Dark Realm?
The Dark Realm? That's weird. Why would it be here?
That's like,
I was thinking maybe it's actually like Radiant Garden? And it's like where, because you know they showed at the end of Remind where like Melody of Memory takes place when like Kairi is in Radiant Garden and Enzo, Eben, and Ansem are like trying to use her memories or whatever to find Sora. So maybe this is like an epilogue final world thing with like some kind of fancy song where it's like the stuff that will link into the next Kingdom Hearts game.
So what you're telling me is Melody of Memory is canon.
There's no way this game is not canon, Liam.
You're telling me this game is just canonically.
Liam, this is why you have me. It's so nice to have a friend who like, you know, like you said, you're not like super into the plotline and all, but it's nice to have a friend who like has played almost every Kingdom Hearts game. Who isn't RTK?
It's like canonically, this actually happens.
Liam, which of the KH1 worlds should I go to first here?
I always start with Alice, but that's just because it's the first one.
Well, no, this is a different layout than KH1 because like Atlantica and Halloween Town are here.
Let's go Agrabah.
Agrabah's
a fun one. Yeah.
Agrabah it is. Here we go, boys.
Am I excited for the semi-final of Great British Bake Off? Yes, I am. Yes, I am, Wildcat. Thank you for asking. I can't wait.
Oh, dude, the game knows. They took out Donald for Aladdin.
That's how it always goes. Everyone in Kingdom Hearts 1 took out Donald for the Disney character.
Absolutely. I mean, especially like Goofy. KH1 Goofy is OP as heck because he has like the best support skill in the entire franchise that never shows up again, which is MP Gift.
Yep. Well, they realized it was broken.
It really was.
It's like Reflect in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, we messed up. That's just broken the game.
That was a mistake. Shouldn't have done that.
We just broke the game with one spell. And final form Firaga, which all the speedrunners use. I love watching Kingdom Hearts speedruns.
I need to watch. I've actually been getting into watching speedruns more in the past little while. I used to like. There was one section of my life where I watched SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom speedruns, and that was like the only thing I ever did with speedruns. But I actually, for like the past like 2-3 months, I didn't realize I had to jump there, whoops. But past 2 or 3 months, I started like looking up some runs of like games and stuff from like GDQ, and I was like, yo, I need to like watch more speedruns. These are really cool.
There's some really good Kingdom Hearts ones from GDQ. I recommend them, and the commentary for them is really great.
Did any of them have Spike Vegeta?
Yes.
Oh, dude, I saw he showed up on so many of the GDQ runs that I saw where he was on the couch. I was like, dude, this guy's hilarious.
I think most of the Kingdom Hearts speedruns at GDQ have Spike Vegeta because he loves it.
That's great. I'm definitely gonna check those out sometime. Anyways, back to the chair story. So.
Oh yeah.
Wait a minute. No, wait, I can't tell you a story while I'm doing this.
Okay, well, wait for after. But the thing
okay, there we go. I just finished the first Agrabah song. All right, so.
Okay.
I've told this story so many times. I'm sure people who watch the majority of my content are like, here we go, the chair story for the 8th time in the 7th different playthrough. But, so we were in Oregon. I don't even remember the name of the town. We were like an hour away from Portland, but I don't want to give away RTK's.
Docs RTK.
Yeah, I'm gonna dox RTK live on my Melody Memory.
Give us his full address.
I'll give you his full name too. So obviously while we were there, I brought my recording stuff and RTK had his recording stuff. When we got there, I don't want to be rude to RTK, but he gets called out on this anyway, so it's fine. But when we got there, RTK lives in like a shack, straight up. He's got like 4 rooms to his house. And it's insane. Like I have a shed that is almost the size of his house. But we get there and it's like he has giant glass containers for like 2 giant iguanas or like lizards that he owns. And that's in his living room, and then he has like a chameleon container and other stuff in in the spare bedroom, and then he's got the bedroom. Those are like the 3 rooms, and then he has a laundry room and a kitchen, and they're all very small. But so when we get there, the idea is like, okay, well, 1 or 2 of you is gonna sleep in the living room on this little futon. Like there's a futon here, and we'll like get a blanket or something laid out on the floor, and that puts us sleeping right next to the lizards that stare at you throughout the night, next to their giant glass containers. Me and Slyro both said we cannot sleep in that room. I would not be able to fall asleep with those lizards right there. And so I ended up walking out onto the porch after we looked around, and I didn't want to be mean to RTK, but Sly came out as well, and I looked at him and said like, dude, I have to get a hotel. And Sly's like, I'll split it with you. And then Micah was like, yeah, I'm in. So we got a little hotel area, and we'd bring over RTK's setup to that hotel to record Mario Party and stuff. So I think it was the day before the wedding, or 2 days before the wedding. The day before the wedding, we were planning on going to Portland to go around town and stuff with the RTK's fiance and his fiance's best friend. So, apparently you can just skip a bunch of the worlds, by the way, in Melody Memory, but I'm going to play literally every single song if I can.
Yeah, why would you?
Yeah, exactly. But anyways, so, So it's the day before the Portland trip, and we know going to Portland is going to take up almost our entire day. So we want to get some more recording in, because we want to make these memories and have them on my YouTube channel and all. And we uploaded 1 set of Mario Party to RTK's channel, I think. But we want to have those memories, you know? So we're like, all right, today we got to get as much recording as we can done. We're going to do, like, some more Smash Brothers stuff. We're going to do some Mario Party. It's going to be great. So on that day, RTK says, like, absolutely, we've got this time set aside to record, except he's having an outdoor wedding at a park where they've, like, bought off a section of the park, like, rented it for the day for their use. And he's like, so I had to rent a bunch of chairs because they got like, I think like 50 people or something were coming. So he had 60 chairs that day had to be picked up and moved to his house, and then the day after taken to the venue. Or 2 days later, you know, the day of the event, obviously.
Yeah.
So he says, like, I gotta go pick these up. And we're like, all right, how far away is the drive to get them? And he's like, it's about a 20-minute drive to get there, and then, of course, it'd be a 20-minute drive to get back because we have to store them at his house. He has a car. It's not I don't think it was an Altima, but it's about the size of an Altima, if you know what an Altima is. Like, it's a little 4-door car. Like, it's not a truck or a van or anything like that. So, sorry, I'm playing the game again, so I'm like, I might suddenly go quiet in the middle of this story as I try not to lose. But, so we're like, all right, well, we gotta go pick up these 60 chairs. It's gotta be done, so we'll do it. And we're like, obviously, we're not all gonna get in the car and all 4 of us go because that's gonna take up too much space. We need valuable space to put the chairs in. This was before he told us how many chairs had to be gotten. So at the time, we didn't know. Only RTK knew how many chairs needed to be picked up. So we're like, RTK's like, it's probably gonna take 2 trips. It's probably gonna take more than 1. And I was like, makes sense. You got a lot of people coming. So I'm like, all right, well, then one of us should go with you to help you. And so that you're not having to do it on your own, because that's lame, having to do stuff on your own. So we'll send, biggest mistake of my life, we'll send Michael. Michael and RTK will go and do a load of the chairs, and then RTK will come back, and probably me or Slyro, I think we said Slyro would go second, we'll go and get the rest of them with him. But, so Michael and RTK leave, and me and Sly, I don't remember what we did. I think we watched Danmachi, the anime or something. We sat in the hotel room and just, like, we might have played some Smash, we might have watched some anime. It's a blur. But me and Sly are sitting there waiting for, like, I missed 1 glide target, and it cost me the bonus thing. That's so upsetting. I'm gonna play that level again, actually. But me and Slyro are sitting there, like, I think an hour and a half passes, and he says it's a 20-minute drive there, 20-minute drive back. And we're like, dude, what is taking them so long? This is ridiculous. And then they get back to the hotel, right? So, like, they left the hotel, because that's where RTK picked up Michael, and we talked about everything. And then they went to that place, got chairs, went to RTK's house, which was like a 10-minute drive from the hotel we were at. And after doing that, they came back to the hotel to switch Michael out for Slyro. And when they came in, we were like, dude, what took so long? And he's like, dude, you have no idea. These chairs are so much more, like, annoying than we expected, and it took so much longer. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, RTK comes in, he's like, dude, I don't know how much time we're going to have to record. We're going to have to do 3 trips to get all the chairs. And I'm like, no. I was actually, like, dumbfounded for a moment, because I was like, what do you, where I come from, that's not a thing. You don't take that many trips to move chairs down in Tennessee. Yeah. So I was like, no, wait a minute, how many chairs did you bring back? And they're like, we got, I'm trying to remember the exact number. I looked at it just the other day, because I told Jet this story. I'm pretty sure they got 22 chairs. So they brought 22 chairs in one trip in RTK's car. And they told me that, and I was like, how many, no, I said, how many chairs are there? And they said 60, and I'm like, how many did you do in one trip? And they're like, we could only fit, literally, like, the maximum in RTK's car, 22 chairs. And I said, that is ridiculous. How did you not get at least 30? And then Michael was like, Chaos, you don't understand. There was no way to fit more chairs into that car. And I'm like, I don't believe you. And then I said, so you know what? I'm going next, and I'm gonna get every single chair and all of the remaining 38 and bring them back. And then Michael's like, I can't wait for you to go do this, and realize that it can't be done. And I'm like, all right, you sit here and wait. And then Slyro is just sitting on the bed, and he's like, well, I guess I don't get to go on my trip then. And then so I go, I got a chest at the end of this level. That hasn't happened before. I don't know what that just did.
You got a chest at the end of one of the Destiny Island ones.
Oh, did I? I didn't notice. Yeah. That's why I've got you guys here. But anyways, so then I go with RTK, and we get there. I missed a glide target again, son of the whore. But, I go there, and we get there, and I get out, and there's this, middle-aged woman, like, you know, she's probably in her mid-40s or something. Looks like it was a family business they got going on. I got a material or something. Really quickly, Lauren, do you want me to go to Halloween Town, which 1000% will copyright my video, because all of my KH1 videos in Halloween Town got copyrighted for the music? Should I go to Atlantica, or should I go to Wonderland? Your pick, Lauren.
Halloween Town, obviously.
Awesome, let's go copyright these videos, boys.
I want your videos to be demonetized.
They're gonna get demonetized. No joke.
I want your videos to be taken down.
This is gonna be the most demonetized video in, or words, most demonetized playthrough in the history of my channel. I have no doubt. But you know, it do be that way sometimes. But anyways, so I go with him. We get there. There's a nice middle-aged lady, and she's like, oh, you brought a different friend along. And he's like, yeah, this one thinks he's gonna get them all in this go. And I said, ma'am, I'm going to. So I start looking at the chairs. They're not like normal chairs. They're like sort of lawn chairs, but they're like, they have a weird curve to them, and they're larger than like your standard lawn chair would be. So I'm just trying to like explain to you that they aren't like standard like fold-up chairs, you know?
just the way you said it. These aren't your regular chairs, okay?
Dude, they were some weird chairs.
Everyday run-of-the-mill chairs.
but anyways, so I get there, and I'm like, this is gonna happen. So first thing I do is I start loading up as many chairs as I can. I open up RTK's trunk and all that. RTK's trunk has weird hinges on it, to where putting in too many chairs prevents you from closing the thing. So couldn't. Yeah, exactly. No, just leave it open. So I could only fit so many chairs in the back. So I start going at it, and it's super easy at first. No problems to be had. I get up to 25 chairs with no issue, which has already broken Michael's record wide open. But then I'm like, I'm getting them all because I want to record today, and I'm not letting Slyro come back to pick up like 8 chairs. It's not happening. I'm not leaving behind like 8 chairs. So I get up to 30. They're 38. I get up to 30. There are 8 left, and I'm starting to struggle. We fill up the passenger seat entirely. RTK is not able to see out the right side of his car at all with the way that I've stacked these chairs. Huh?
It's over.
How are you going to get back in the car?
Oh, just wait. It gets better. It gets better. So I do that. Cannot see, like, it's up against the windshield. I was actually worried temporarily that, like, man, I hope one of these chairs doesn't somehow, like, scratch or bust up his windshield. But anyways, I fill that up. The entire time I'm doing this, I get to like chair 34 of 38. The woman who's like there, who owns the place, is laughing in the background. Like she's like, this is amazing and hilarious all in one. And as she's laughing, RTK is also watching me. I told RTK not to touch anything because he'll mess it up for me. But anyways, as I'm doing it, she's laughing. I looked at the lady. I'm like, ma'am, I promise you I'm not going to break any of these chairs, and if I do, I will pay to replace them. And she's like, no. She was loving it. She was like, no, don't worry. You're doing fine. Please keep going. And so I eventually get it down to where I have all 38 chairs in the car and the trunk shuts. However, there's no room for me to fit in the car. So
Perfect.
I get in the back. I leave a small area in the back seat where like the legs of the chairs are like in the back seat. So I'm in between the legs of like 12 stacked chairs with them like pushing into my rib cage, and it's the back left door, so I'm behind the driver, behind RTK. The back left door won't close with me and the chairs in it. So we get in the car, and I tell RTK as I'm in the back left, I'm holding the back left door shut, and I tell him, go. We got a 20-minute drive. I will hold the door shut. Get us hope that a cop is nowhere on our route and get us back to your house. So he starts driving, and we're going with me in the back, holding the door shut the entire time, with 38 chairs stuffed into this car that definitely don't fit at all. Nix, thank you for following. Much appreciated. As we're getting closer, I tell RTK, wait a minute. Go to the hotel first, because I need Michael to see his failures. So we get to the hotel, I call Michael and say, we got all the chairs and we're out in the parking lot, come out here. And then Sly and Michael come outside, and Michael is just like, he's dumbfounded. He's just looking at it like, you did it. He didn't even know what to say. Like, yeah, I'm astounded that you pulled it off. And
Michael.
it was just so good. It was like it feels bad to say it was the highlight of the trip of RTK's wedding for me, but it was. it was, and I was the best man at RTK's wedding, but it was just.
So long as it
you
wasn't the best moment for RTK of that weekend, then you're fine.
But it was so good. So I had him take it there, and then we went and dropped off his house. One of the other best parts was when Slyro came out and saw that I had gotten all the chairs. He said, "So I don't get to go on a trip with RTK to pick up chairs." I'm like, "Nope, you're the only one who gets left out."
You missed out on that arc.
Yeah, it really ruined his character development in the second half.
Exactly. Slayer never got the time skip. He got it a little while after everyone else.
Oh, but man, that story was amazing. And I actually took pictures of the car with all the chairs in it, which
It's just as amazing as the music on this level. God, I love this music.
It is very good, if only it wasn't horribly copywritten.
No, it's great. I mean, it deserves to be copyrighted. It's amazing. I would want to make money off of it.
I feel that.
Yeah. That was an incredible story. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was wondering, because you mentioned it right at the end of Among Us last time we played, and I was
Yeah,
curious
that-
what it was, and I kept forgetting to ask Michael, but I'm very glad that I heard the story from you rather than from Michael.
Yeah, I can
So
only
now-
imagine how Michael would tell it. Probably
So now-
slightly different.
A little bit.
So the Kingdom Hearts story as it goes now. Sora, Donald, and Goofy are going to each Disney World to seal off the different Disney Worlds' keyhole, essentially, which locks the heart of the world behind a door so that it can't be devoured by the Heartless.
Okay.
Which is only
They're also
relevant
looking
for
for-
Kingdom Hearts 1. They never do that in any other Kingdom Hearts game.
They're also looking for Mickey and Riku and Kairi. They're looking for their friends.
Yeah, they're
because Donald
looking.
and
One of those people are looking for Kairi. Her heart is inside Sora the entire time, in case you forgot.
Yeah, Donald and Goofy
Where's
are looking for
Sora's
the
heart?
king. His heart is in there as well. He
Sora's
has two
heart
hearts.
is there
He's a
with
bit of a
like,
Time Lord.
wow.
it's like rubbed up against Kairi's. They're meant to be because their hearts are basically making out for the entire first
Yeah.
game.
It's
I
like
love that. for them.
he's a bit of a Time Lord at the moment.
Is that a Doctor Who reference?
It is a Doctor
These
Who reference.
stupid British people.
Yeah. It is a Doctor
I
Who
can't-
reference.
Chaos.
Listen, I'm listening to Under the Sea now. I don't want to talk to you. Oh yeah, also Ventus's heart is in Sora at the same time. He's got 3 hearts in him at once. Actually, let's see. Kairi's heart gets out at the end of KH1, but then Shion and Sora has a maximum of 4 hearts in his body at one time at one point in the series.
He's like a cow.
That's stomachs, Liam. They have 4 stomachs.
Nah, I'm pretty sure it's hearts. You ever tried to kill a cow? Pretty tricky.
Yes.
By the way,
many
Chaos,
times.
I was going to agree with you. I was going to agree with you about this silly British man. I wasn't going to defend Doctor Who.
Oh,
I just want you to know that.
Oh, I forgot the last part of the chair story where RTK like talked to me like 3 days later and said that lady asked where you were when I went to return the chair.
How many trips did he have to take? Did he fit all 38?
Like, he didn't tell me. I don't think he wanted to tell me.
One at a time.
Yeah, he made 60 trips back and forth.